I'm not just a college professor, I'm the head of a department. I don't see myself fleeing an airborne toxic event. That's for people who live in mobile homes out in the scrubby part of the county where the fish hatcheries are. Hello, BookTube. Today, we're looking at White Noise by Don DeLillo. If you want your own copy, I have an affiliate link to bookshop.org down below. It's a great way to help support the channel. I've also opened a Patreon. The free tier gives you access to links for my older videos, and the subscription tier gets you early access to everything I upload. You don't have to wait for them to go live on the channel, and there'll be more perks coming soon. I got some things in the works. Don't worry, there's nothing there that is stuck behind a paywall that won't come out on YouTube for free eventually. It just I have things scheduled out, and for those of you that don't like when creators do that, there's an option for you. You can get whenever it's ready. Also, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy the video, consider liking, sharing, subscribing, and all that stuff. Commenting, I love the comments. And there's timestamps down below if you want to skip around. I should also mention real quick that it's about 85 degrees in this room. The dog has to be in this room because I'm in this room. And my two little air conditioners are just not holding up because it's like 100 degrees outside. So we are both in here dying. But you know what? We're going to get through this. We're going to figure it out. And you know what? We'll just get a little sweaty for a little while. I'll be all right. It'll be all right. We'll survive. About Don DeLillo. Don DeLillo was born 1936 in the Bronx, and his early years in New York City shaped the way he saw America's culture of noise, advertising, and spectacle. He worked briefly in advertising before publishing his first novel, Americana, in 1971, a book already obsessed with media and identity. Over the next 2 decades, DeLillo became one of the defining voices of postmodern fiction. His breakthrough, White Noise, what we're talking about right now, won the National Book Award and captured the absurdity of consumer culture and our fear of death. He followed it with Libra in 1988. I'm about halfway through Libra right now, so I'm working on it. A daring reimagining of the JFK assassination, and Mao too in 1991, which explored terrorism and the shrinking role of the novelist in a world dominated by mass movements. Then came Underworld in 1997, often considered his masterpiece, a sweeping Cold War epic that began with a baseball game and spirals outward to nuclear anxiety, waste, and hidden connections of everyday life. Across all these works, oh, sorry, I got distracted there for a second. Across all these works, DeLillo examines how technology, politics, and the media shape human identity, often with dark humor and unsettling clarity. So when we talk about Don DeLillo, we're not just talking about novels. We're talking about a writer who mapped the psychic landscape of the late 20th century America and whose questions about noise, fear, and the meaning still resonate today. So about White Noise, the author, of course, Don DeLillo. This coming from Wikipedia. Publisher was Viking Adult. I don't know what makes Viking Adult different than Viking, or if it's just how Wikipedia has it. I don't know. But I thought that was kind of strange. Publication date was January 21st, 1985. I was almost 2 years old. I was just a young little thing. Publication the publication country is the United States. Pages was 326. The Penguin Deluxe edition of this one, this 310. So about right. Language English, genre postmodern, preceded by the names, which I have a video for. You can find it in the playlist down below. And it was followed by Libra, which I mentioned that I'm about halfway through as of this recording. A synopsis of White Noise. White Noise tells the story of Jack Gladney, his fourth wife Babette, and 4 ultra-modern offspring as they navigate the rocky passages of family life to the background babble of brand-name consumerism. Sounds like a great book, right? When an industrial accident unleashes an airborne toxic event, A lethal black chemical cloud floats over their lives. The menacing cloud is a more urgent, invisible version of the white noise engulfing the Gladneys. Radio transmissions, sirens, microwaves, ultrasonic appliances, and the TV murmurings pulsing with life, yet suggesting something ominous. So, my takeaways and thoughts. I want to show you something real quick. This is my MacBook. All right. My takeaways and thoughts. I don't know how well you can see this. I have nothing written down. I have been sitting on. I finished this book maybe 2-3 weeks ago, and I typically, when I finish a book, I sit down right away because I don't want to start forgetting things. And usually, I have a pretty good idea of what I want to say and the points I want to make. But I can't promise they're good points, but I kind of have an idea of what I want to say for takeaways and my thoughts. This book, I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since I finished it. I even the same day I finished it, I watched there's a Netflix movie of White Noise. I think Netflix actually made it. I think it was made for them, I should say. But it's on Netflix if you want to watch it. And that the movie, I think, captures the book perfectly. A lot of people don't like the movie. I can see why, but I thought it was great. I thought it perfectly captures what it's like to read a Don DeLillo book. But anyway, I feel like I got 10% of what this book was trying to give me, and I think even though I only got 10%, I think it's a masterpiece. I'm lost for words. Like, I have no idea. And if you read this book, even if you hated this book, if you hated this book, I think we could probably agree that the book is very chaotic, and there's so many. So when I was trying to find a quote for this book, I read it on my Kindle. And typically, if I'm reading like the paper book, the book, I'll have a pen or a pencil or something handy where I'll just kind of star or circle paragraphs or quotes and things I might want to use for the video. Like, I read it with the intention of knowing that I'm going to talk about it, and so I didn't do that. So what I did was I went to, Goodreads is a good place to find quotes. I'm reading all these quotes, and there's so many of them that are just so good, and there's so many of them that were really good that I didn't even remember was in the book. But then it makes sense they were in the book, that I just missed them. That I really struggled. The thing about this book is that it's so absurd, but yet so relatable that I, I don't even, I don't even, I don't even know. I don't know. Like the Airborne Toxic, something if you watch other people's videos on White Noise, or if you came here from other people's videos, everyone talks about the Airborne Toxic Event. And that might be the greatest section of a book that I've ever read. Just as it unfolds, and all the misinformation, the wrong information changes. It's like, what, 40 years later, it's exactly what it's like trying to get your news off of social media. Like newspapers are equally as bad because they have to compete with social media, and a terrible thing happens. I do not pay attention to the news whatsoever, but the earthquake hit Venezuela or whatever, and that just happened here a few days ago, and nobody cares about. All they care about is getting information out there, whether it's right or whether it's wrong, whether it's helpful, whether it's hurting things. All they care about is speed, because they have to be the first, or they have to be early. And then, as time goes on and the information gets um confirmed or updated or whatever, things change drastically. So you might go from a 3.0 earthquake and 100 people dead to a 6.0 earthquake and 30,000 people dead just over a span of time, because they don't care about the accuracy. They only care about the speed. And that was Airborne Toxic Event, like, to a T. And then, basically, the I don't want to get into spoilers or something, but the things that follow, how, there's, plans in place, but the plans just kind of fall apart. And one of the great quotes was, I'm going to butcher this because I don't have it written down or in front of me, but there's a part where they have to leave the evacuation zone to go to another evacuation zone, and it's pure chaos. And instead of following the crowd, they followed this SUV that had a very right wing, heavy right wing bumper sticker. It was like gun control is whatever. Like, it was a gun control bumper sticker that was like super far right, right? And they're like, in the time in this sort of scenario, you have to follow the people with that sort of a bumper sticker. Like, just, I don't even know where I was going with that, but um, it's just the Airborne Toxic Event was just chef's kiss. Wow. And like, so the main dude, the main Gladney guy, he is the director of like Hitler studies at this university. How do you even come up with this idea? How do you come up with, my main character is going to be the director of the Hitler studies, who doesn't know German, and who doesn't even qualify to take the class, let alone teach it? Like, that right there is academia, like, wrapped up in a little tight bow. Like, I graduated from I'm wearing the shirt. I graduated from school last year, got my bachelor's, went back after 20 whatever years out of school. And there were so many times where uh, I'd have an instructor and I'm like, why is this person, I mean, I know they have a PhD or whatever, but these people, some of them just kind of seem to lack, any sort of human aspect. And then you had the guy's friend in the book that wanted to do the same thing that he's doing with his Hitler studies, but with Elvis. Like, how do you come up with that? Like, how do you come up with these things? And the conversations in this book, the conversations are so out there. Like, the most uh video, not videotape, the most pictured, the barn that, I'm getting ahead of myself. My mouth is trying to work faster than my brain can process anything. And I'm just. That's why I try to have some sort of a of a script written out. But like, it was the barn with the most pictures of it taken or whatever. And the fact that it's the barn that gets the most pictures taken of it, then people don't really see the barn, because the barn itself is not the attraction. I guess the attraction would be that you have to take the picture of the barn so you'd be like everybody. Like, just such weird stuff. And like, pretty much the whole book is about death. This book is very depressing. Everything about this book is death. This book is death. And but the thing with Don DeLillo, when he can take a serious subject and just be absolutely gonzo goofy out of his mind with it, he's like brilliant. So I mentioned I'm about halfway through Libra, and this will be a spoiler alert for the Libra video, is that I'm not enjoying, like, I finished this and I was so excited to get into Libra because I thought it would be this, but with the JFK stuff instead of an Airborne Toxic Event. And I was so excited, and I'm like halfway through it now, and I'm so disappointed because for the most part, it's a very straight book. He's not his goofy self, and um, I don't. It doesn't have the charm that White Noise has. And I'm although it's a perfectly fine book, and I'm only halfway through, so I have no idea if it picks up in the end or whatever. Um, I'm just kind of disappointed. Like, I'm not loving it. Like, I'm trying to compare it. I went into it comparing it to White Noise or wanting it to be White Noise 2.0, and it's not. It's its own complete thing. And so I'm trying I'm trying to not hold that against the book, but then again, I'm having trouble not holding it against the book because I wanted it to be goofy. And I wanted it to be out there, and it's just not doing that. So, which kind of also makes me worried about Underworld because I'm hoping Underworld is more like this and not and less like Libra. But yeah, I don't know. This video is 16 minutes long. I haven't said anything about it. I feel like I haven't talked about this book at all because I have no idea. I have no idea how to talk about this book except for the fact that I have been trying my hardest not to just sit down and start this book all over again because I, like I said, I think I got about 10% what this book is trying to offer me, and I really want to reread it and try to find more, try to get more out of it, and try to. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking. I'm really kind of leaning towards like November and December this year of doing a lot of rereads or maybe just all rereads because I never make time to reread stuff. I always try to pick up the next new to me thing, the 40-year-old new book. Um, I'm thinking there might be a reread of this even within the year. I want to get through at least Mao 2 by the end of the year. Um, so we'll see. But cause that kind of gets me through all the heavy hitters besides Underworld. And then I don't mind, I could slow down a little bit, and I don't mind as much. But um, I guess I think this might get reread before 2027. If I do, of course I'll let you know, and I'll do a video on it, and maybe I'll have more to say. Maybe I'll have more coherent things to say. Besides, this book kind of left me speechless and rambly for 18 minutes. So I think that's it for this one, peeps. Let me know down below if you read this book. If you've read this book, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Don DeLillo's White Noise. Read it. It's. I think it's a masterpiece. Like I think it might be. I don't say that about a lot of books, but this one, like I can't stop thinking about it, and I think I'm not going to stop thinking about it until I reread it, to be honest, and try to see some things I missed and see what else I can see if I can pull anything out of it. I shouldn't say what else I can pull out of it. See if I can. That's it. That's it for this one. Cheers, peeps. Where's my mouse at? Where is my? Oh, there it is.